video demonstrating. I'm just going to pick one of Norton's problems from chapter 5 and see how I can graphically synthesize it. So I don't even know if it can be done. So this is sort of an experiment, but hopefully this video will assist you in doing the things. You notice I made the background white. I would prefer that you do that. We're going to create a sketch on the front plane, and under Tools, we're going to pick up Sketch Tools, and then Sketch Picture. And I have a bunch under this thing I call solved problems, although they're not all solved problems. And so here's like the different figures for Norton's, and we've done a couple of these. I know this one can be done, so I'm kind of leaning towards maybe using that one. Just thinking about challenging myself and trying one of these that I haven't done before. This one right here, I think maybe. Let's go ahead and try it. All right, so I haven't done this one before, and so it's fraught with peril. So it's in uploading the picture of the thing. Now this part right here can be kind of tricky. If you're remote, I've had a really hard time getting this thing to scale. So I don't require you to make the thing to scale, because it really is difficult to grab a hold of the end of this scaling part. So if this starts to drive you nuts and waste your time, just don't do it. But here I'm going to move this guy as close as I can to the end point right there, and then drag it from over here. And you got to really be careful where you hover over this thing. And then as soon as you let go of that right hand side, it gives you an opportunity. And I'm glad I remembered it was 21 for the thing, right? It was 21. So now it's scaled it, and that can really make it better for other things, but for this exam it doesn't need to be scaled, right? All right, so I'm going to leave that as a separate sketch right here, and go back to the front plane, and then make a new sketch on the front plane. So I just want to keep the picture isolated. And what I find also, I'm going to make this one, I'm going to come down and make points on this sketch. And I'm going to keep this one also separate, right? So I'm going to just do my best, graphically pick these out. Remember, this is graphical synthesis, so why not graphically synthesize the thing, right? So here are the attachment points between here, and I'm going to put them in. You don't have to fix them, but I kind of like to, right? So I hit escape, and I'm just going to come through each one and fix them. Fix, and I got one of my neighbors is having a phone call that he wants everybody else to hear, so. I'm really loud. I'm a loud person because I'm important. Like, okay, sure, shut up. All right, so there you go. And now I'm going to quit out of this one. Well, not quit, I'm going to save it out there. And I'm going to create an even new sketch, right, on the front plane. And it says I just don't want my sketches to like try to like shift the thing or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna make center lines here, and I'm gonna go from 1 to 2 to 3. All right, so I get these messed up a lot of times, so I gotta be careful. And I'm gonna go from the center of this somewhere up here, and the center right there. Now I hit escape, and now I'm going to hit click on that line. I'm going to hit shift, click on that, and make these perpendicular. Click on that line, and make them perpendicular. Okay, so now we've established that's going to be the ground point that's associated with C. We're going to do the same thing, get the center lines here, and go from D to D to D. And now center somewhere up here, center. And now I escaped. Now I'm hitting click on that. I'm hitting shift or control, either one. And boom. do the same thing with here. Shift, have them both selected, hit perpendicular. So there is going to be the connection point for D. Now I left those as on purpose as construction lines. I'm going to take this one and let's drive this thing with. I'm taking a look. I might want to drive it with the one. Let's drive it with the ones between C. So that's going to be that leg, and then this is going to be this leg right there, right? So I could also include between the one between D, and maybe I will. I'll go ahead and write this in. This is not necessary though, right? To put it to the extremes. I mean, if we want to try to make a judgment call, yeah, see D is not a good candidate for it to be the one that's going to drive it. C is going to be better. So I am going to make a circle here, and I'm going to create a center line that is attached, right? As a center line. I like to think of them as construction lines, attached from right there to there. And I can move this. You can see, and now of course that's going to be the thing I'm going to use to drive it. And let me make this into a construction line as too, right? So that thing's construction, and I can kind of make a decision on how big I want this to be right there, right? So let's make it something 4. Is that going to be too big or too small? It's kind of hard to say, right? Let's make an extension line onto this. I kind of push it over to the side, so I want it to be. I'm going to click on both of them and make them collinear. Okay. And now we know that we're going to have a crank somewhere over there. And I'm going to make that a construction line too. I'm going to make. I'm just making a radius onto this thing, right? And I'm going to make a full line from this to right here. Grab a hold of that and grab a hold of that and make them equal to each other. Boom. Okay. So now we have like we have like a little bit of control, right? I made that 4 inches, so that made that decision on how big this is. Now this right here is the only one. Let's make this length. All right, so we had to kind of be careful here. We want to make the length from. Okay, so here's another a little tricky. I put a little point onto here. It's attached there, but I also like click it onto there. Whoops, I didn't mean to grab the center. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Oh no, let's see. I don't like that. All right, I think I accidentally grabbed the center. Let me grab that point and let me grab that and make them coincident. There you go. Okay, so now there's a point like right there, and I think I want to make that point to right that point and take a look, right? So before I measure, let me measure this. All right, so that's 2.6. So we want this. Let's make that like K, the same idea, right? That we had from doing the whatever synthesis. What did I just say? Yeah. I said that the radius. What did I just say that radius was? Sorry about this. 2.6. So what does that make? What's 2 times that? What's 2 times 2.6 times 2 is 5.2. Right? What is 3? 2.6 times 3? 7.8. Let's make this thing 7.8. Why? Why not? 7.8. Boom. Okay. So I think these are everything that we need for to create our mechanism. So this is going to be our main guy right here, right? And we're going to save it. And how far are we? How far are we into this? It's we're in the 10-minute mark. Okay. So I'm going to call this. Let me think. I'm going to put it into a new folder. I'm going to call it Norton. I can't remember. problem this is. Problem. Let me pause and so I can name the thing the right thing. I'll look it up and pause it. 557. See if it'll let me continue here. 557. And I'm going to call it Norton. 557. That's just the main sketch of the thing. Now here's the routine to make it a little faster here. Make sure you hit that save as a copy here, and let's just start naming the parts. I like to just say, well, I guess I'll call it part 1 or link 1, right? So save this. A message will come up. Do you want to keep the thing open? Just say yes, but don't answer me again, right? Because it'll keep asking you. But make sure, because I keep forgetting to click this save and open here. Save it again as 2. Save as again. You're going to do this and make 6 of these, right? So 3. Save as, continue, 4. And I told you it was a half hour, so I don't know if I'm going to be correct in that. I gotta, maybe just for my pride, I gotta keep this video under half an hour, right? That's a lot of pressure. And, you know, I recognize your computer's down, especially if you're remote. It could be like a little bit of a pain in the ass to do this right here. Okay. So I think I forgot to like hit the close. Yep, I forgot with part 5. I was talking. So it's nice to have them all open at the same time. And then I'm just going to go down one at a time, right? So hopefully I didn't make any dumb mistakes. Like I've made dumb mistakes a couple times. That's where it really can bite you with the time, right? So once again, I'm going to create a new sketch on top of this. And this is one that's going to be link 1, so it's going to be McGraw-Hill. So I'm going to keep this right in here. So I'm in a new sketch. And I like to make the things look like this right here. So here, where the grounds form, right? So one of the grounds is right here. One of the grounds is right here. And one of the grounds is right here. Now, for this one, I might consider making the whole thing a rectangle here from the top, right? So I don't want it to come right in there. I want to be able to pick the thing out. Now, I want to try to pick a diameter right here that kind of makes sense. I like 1/8 of an inch. That's too small in this case. 0.5 looks about right. I'm just giving like a proportion to the thing. Yours might vary. In the exam that I did, 0.125 was nice. Right there, this is going to be my ground. Because it'll look good this way. That's what I'm trying to do. And so I am going to go ahead and make these things wicked thin. It doesn't matter what their thickness is. 0.1 works pretty well. If 0.1 were to be 2, that's like what default came up here. So there you go. There's my ground. And you don't have to, but it doesn't make the thing look better. Put some color into it. And green for ground. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go to my link 2. Right, and so we're going to create a sketch for link 2. And I like to use this little guy right here. And this right here is what I'm going to consider link 2. And I'm going to make them this big. And I'm going to put them holes right here. I'm going to put one right here, right? Because that's where the connection is going to go to. And, you know, I think I'm looking at this thing and I think I forgot something. So we'll see. Now, for the thickness of this, I'm going to pick something that makes sense. I think 1 is going to be too big to me. I'm going to go 0.75. And I'm going to make this 0.5. Oh, Actually, that looks a little too big. Look, 0.5, but I made the other one 0.5, so I just want to keep all the holes the same. I don't know. Let's take it 1. That looks awfully big. We'll make it look weird. 0.75 looks better than me. All right. Now, something I think I forgot to do that's going to bite me here is I think I wanted to extend that line and to put it like over here. We'll see. Okay. So anyway, let's also make this one. Oh, I got to pick the sketch. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So 0.1. You know, I think I actually want to go 0.2. Make it look it just looked too thin to me. Looked like it would break, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. Let's make this one. I like to make this one yellow, or I think I do. All right. Now, when we're here, it's a good idea. Just turn these sketches off. We're only going to leave the sketch on for the ground. So I'll save this, and we'll move on to link 3, which is the actual doohickey thing. Right, so we'll start up on a new sketch, and let's put our circles here for our connection points. And what do we say, 0.5 here? Yeah, that was a little big actually, but maybe 0.25 would have been better. Anyway, this is just a representation of the thing, right? So this doesn't have to look. Excuse for exam. Good morning, sir. SolidWorks. All right, whatever. Won't read that. People's emails to you out loud. That would be rude. So let's make this 0.75 and this 0.75. And of course, I'm just making this for prettiness. And I'm not fully defining my. You don't have to fully define your thing. Let's see. So we're just making a rough draft design, right? This is our first pass, proof of concept. We liked those kinds of names for projects. This is a proof of concept design. Concept feasibility. That was another one. I did a project that was on a concept feasibility of converting a ultra-large crude carry into a floating mobile offshore base. It was like so it was a very large mobile offshore base, and they referred to it as the VLMOB. And I spent like a year of my life designing the VLMOB, which was really just Imagineering, right? It didn't really, they were never going to build that thing. But it was neat. It had, you could land a helicopter on it, all kinds of things. I like to make the this link 3 red, like so it stands out. So let me turn off all of these thingies, all these sketches, and now we save. And now we go to link 4. This is a boring one. Go to the front, make a new sketch, and I'm going to put him over to here, to there. And he only needs these. We decided on 0.75 looked somehow better than 1. One looked too fat. And these 0.5, these holes look too big to me now. Got it. And let's see, turn these off. I like to make this one blue. Just nice, you know, trying to use the primary colors there. And then we're moving right along. I'm going to link 5, which I had jumped past. This is one that I have to take a little bit more care with, and I have messed this up before. So I already see, I kind of want to put it over here in the extended, but I'm going to do it between here and there, right? Because I know those lengths are going to be correct. I could have, if I had extended the line over there, and I don't know that it's to that point, but I do know that it's this point right here. So I think I missed hitting the point right here. And 0.75, just to be consistent, why not? And 0.5, 0.5. And we decided to make it, turn these off, little eyeball thing. Oh, I thought the blue looked nice, right? Or is it cyan? No, it's not cyan. Yeah, it's cyan, right? As opposed to magenta. And then we got one last one, link 6. And so we go to our front plane again. This right here is going to be good enough, right there. Right to here to there. I don't want to hear the midpoint. I saw a midpoint jumping out at me. I think right there is going to be correct. Here's one of the factors, and I didn't want to make them too big because this one looks stupid if you make it too wide. 0.75 and 0.5 and 0.5. And then make this one, once again I'm making it 0.2 because it looks a little better. I'll turn off all these. And let's make it a nice, I think I decided orange looked kind of neat. It looked kind of good. Yeah. All right, so now I want to make a new assembly. Let's see what my time is. How much time did that take me? I'm at 22. All right. So I make 22 minutes point, or 23 almost, yeah. All right, so I'm going to start out with link 1. And I'm importing this one, and that first one turns into a fixed or frozen, I guess you would say. And I like that. So I want to make sure I turn the background white. So now I start importing insert my components. It's nice to take a little thumbtack and put them in there. So just so that we don't have to keep opening that up. So I'm just going to put these kind of near where they need to be. I need to move them enough so I can see the back of them. So it's kind of good to kind of like put them out there, out in space a little bit. And we're done. And then we take a mate. We get our mates going here. And I'm going to go one at a time. So first off, I'm going to go on the face of that. And then I need to have the back of this. Boom. And then I'm going to have that face with that guy. Boom. Okay. And in some of these, it might be even better to kind of pull them away a little bit from the from this, because you do want to kind of get to the back of them. Right. So I'm going to come up to that face and come up to the back of that one. Right. And then come to this inner circle and this inner circle and say okay. And now now I want to go, I could go either side. I could either go this face to the back of that, but it makes a little bit more sense maybe to have the back of this to the front of that. You don't have to do both of them. And so I'm going to come to the center of that, go that to right here, boom. And then this one, they look like they're attached, but I happen to make them nearby, so they do need a mate right here. Okay, so far we have the thing, and we might want to test it out right here, right? We might want to test the thing out and say, does it do what it's supposed to do? Yep. Yeah. So we might have had to gone backwards and stuff. Now, I'm going to go this one next. I'm going to put him here, attached to there, attached to. Whoop! I forgot to put the mate on there. Okay. So I have that. I already had that back. There you go. We're attached. And let me put in right there to right here. Kaboom. And then, okay, so the way this thing is situated right here, it's going to make it into the wrong position for me. I would like to start out like in this position if I can, to get close as I can to it for my animation. So let me see. I want to attach him to the back of this. Boom. Okay. And then, of course, this is like always kind of a little messed up. Yeah, that's going to be a little messed up, but that's okay. We'll attach right to there and to right there. And I believe we're going to have a pretty good setup right here. So here's all the mates that I needed, and we can test this thing out. If we can get this thing, to budge, right? So there you go. All right. So now that I have, now that I'm able to touch that crank, I'm able to get him and move him in between. And so all that's left is to make an animation. So we want to save this. And I usually try to name it, it's assembly, so I can name it the same thing as I named the other 557, and say save right onto there. And let me go to my motion study, and I'm going to make it into basic motion. You want to right click this thing and say disable playback right there. You don't want keys created. I'm going to make this thing go to 6 seconds. I like this 6 seconds thing. I'm going to put a motor, and here's a tricky. You got to get onto that guy. And I don't think it matters which direction we put this motor on right there. But I'm going to turn him to 20 RPM. And I think 20 RPM gets me around in 6 seconds. So get 3 times around? Maybe it does 2 times around. Let's see what happens. I can't remember off the top of my head. So anyway, I said that motor right here. Let me just see if it works. Boom. Look at that. And check it out. Okay. And now I'm going to reduce the size of this thing. I want to try to make my video as big as possible. Like, well, or use up the white space. I don't want to have my white space used right there. Okay. And I'm going to save this, hit this, and I'm going to go to, I found that that MP4 is actually works out a lot better. And let's see, I want to change this to this folder right here. And I'd like to change my aspect ratio. Let's change it to this right here. I think I'm going to keep everything the same. I had pretty good results with the default. Sometimes I change this to 8 frames, or we could change it to 15, but let me see. And it starts to save the thing. It takes a couple seconds here. I mean, I can expand this out. You can see that sometimes it's like it waits a little bit. Let me open this up here and check it out. We're at the 30-minute mark right now. So I have successfully done it in a half hour. But obviously, I've done a couple of these now. So right here, look at that. Oh, less than a meg. And fortunately on this, I think I can open this up in open with movies, photos, Windows Video Play. Let's see. Let's open this thing up. Let's see if it plays. There you go. I almost wanted to maybe make it a little slower. So let me unclick that right there. Just take a little bit more time. And I would suggest that you save these onto a thumb drive or save them to Google Drive or something. I think maybe if I slow this thing down to half speed right here, and then I save the animation in the same way. Let me see, right there. I think it's going to overwrite this thing. Yeah. I think it'll make the video longer. Might make the video file larger too. But I kind of want to see it pause a little bit more at that third position. Kind of move too fast as you're trying to analyze the thing. Try to visually analyze, try to see if it worked out well. But hopefully this, it was just my idea to make the exam be something instead of less bookwormy, to be, you see the little pause, by the way, right here at the end. It takes a little time before it actually generates the thing. So yeah, it made it a bigger file, and gave me a bloop bloop bloop. I don't know what the bloop 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 was. Oh, I guess it was because I'm on office hours. Decided to kick me off because of inactivity. I'm multitasking here because nobody comes to office hours anymore. I wonder if I'm even on the right one. Yeah, I was on the wrong one a little while ago. Let's see. Let's open this up. Open with media player. So make that the default one. I have this VLZ one that works pretty well on my. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't quite make it slow enough for my tastes. It doesn't look like it's going all the way over to there. That's a little concerning. I didn't notice that before. Let me come back and look at my model. What are you doing? I want you. Is it gonna go? Can it go all the way? That's the question. Yeah, it looks like it's there. Yeah, it looks like it makes it. It just doesn't pause very long. Right there. So, be interesting. I could have made this a quick return requirement, but I figure if you can do this right here, you've mastered a skill that I think is you're on track, and that's really what the exam is about. So that's my thought process. Hopefully, if you look at this video, it only take you a half hour to watch it. You'll get something out of it, and you'll feel more prepared for the test. You could even watch it during the test. I don't care. As long as you can do this kind of task right here to graphically synthesize something. Well, I also want to do the Graph to that too, by the way. So I should have asked you. And the Graph can be done by way of this right here, right? So once again, I like to make a whole separate sketch of this thing, and so now in terms of the Graph here, I think maybe what I could do. Here's what I would do, right? So I would take this right here, and okay, maybe I'm trying to think. What would be something I would do? Yeah, what would I do? I would do this. All right, so I would come up to here, I know it has to be onto there. Somewhere on here, somewhere on there, and somewhere right here. Okay, so I know all of these links. Let's see if I can move. Why won't you let me move? All right, so right here. All right, so no, that's not right. Okay, I'm destroying my beautiful video by like stammering on this. See, I didn't want to do this, but I will. All right, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, boom. All right, and then I would draw it in between here and there. Okay, so this is a position of this, so I can go here, and I can measure that, and I can measure this right here. Make sure. I don't know that that is horizontal, so I'm just trying to make sure that the thing is correct right here. And try to measure this one. And once again, I don't know that it's horizontal. It just kind of turned out that to look like it is. And that should be driven. I don't know why it's not driven. And this should be driven. This would be driven already. We already picked it right here. So in terms of our Grashoff, we want to document this and write it down somewhere. On a piece of paper, maybe? I think that's a good place. That's a good thing to write down. On a piece of paper that we have. The short link is 2.6. Right? The long link is 8.37. The other ones are 7.8 and Q, right, is 4.0. So S plus L is, almost could do it in my head, 2.6, 8.37 plus we have 10.97. P plus Q is 7.8 plus 4, which should be able to do this in our head, which is 11.80. And I do believe, therefore, it is Grashoff. But we already observed that it was Grashoff. But anyway, so that was one of the other things I'm going to ask him. Double check that the thing is Grashoff as part of that. And your documentation for the thing can be done in any number of ways here, right? We could you could do that by hand here, or we want to upload a video for the thing. We could also screen capture this right here, put it into Word, and then write the thing out, right? That S was equal to 2.6, L was equal to 8.37, P is equal to 7.8, and Q was equal to 4. And then write S plus L was equal to 10.97. P plus Q is equal to, I didn't capitalize, 0.80. P plus Q is greater than L plus S. Therefore, Grashoff. Someone from Farmington is calling me, probably to tell me about my insurance here. And then just print that to a PDF and then upload it. So there you go. And I'm at 39 minutes because I did the other part of the thing, but I think you get the idea. And I don't know where I'm going to put this right here. Temp. Norton 557. In fact, actually, it belongs over here along with the SolidWorks files in my Norton 557, right? For Norton 557, boom. The end. The end. Oh, it's still making my file. Well, I have Adobe, so I have like the full Adobe thing, so that's why. But you just print it to with the Microsoft one. It's taking. Look at computer. Slow computer. See? And now it'll show up as an Adobe, so boom. Thank you.